Alright, in today's episode, I am going to be doing what I wanted to do 3 episodes ago, which is cleaning out the tent area. There's a lot of mold that has to be taken care of, so that's number 1 priority. I've got a bucket of soapy water and a cloth I'm going to use to clean that out, better than the wipes I used last time. And give that a nice thorough clean. Hopefully we can get rid of all that mold. And then I want to start clearing out some of the other areas around the tent that have just gotten a bit overgrown and just need a bit of a clear out, so I want to get that done. And then at the end of this episode, I'm also going to have a little chat, just me and the camera, completely unedited, about the future of this series and where things are heading from this point on. It's pretty important if you're enjoying this. And then before that, I also want to go on a little walk for some stuff that I lost in the flood, see if I can find it washed up downstream anywhere, see what I can do with that. No, I'm not slapping myself in the face because I want to. There's a lot of mosquitoes. Because the water is still up because of the floods. It's not too badly up. I can still get across. So that's all good. I'm also moving all the stuff I took out when I evacuated the tent. That's all coming back today. So without further ado, let's just get straight into things. Here I've brought down a wheelbarrow of all the stuff here. I've also got some new additions that I have managed to collect. You can see here we got some nice terracotta pots, which won't be used this episode, but they will be used in some coming soon projects. We've got a big chunk of wood here that will be useful in yet again coming projects. And of course we've got the pagoda back, and I've already taken the plant that I took, that's already back at the tent. And then of course we've got our soapy water here. We've got a cloth in my bag, I can just dip that in there. First things first though, the flood has wedged this star picket a little bit off to the left, so I can't actually undo the fence, so I'm going to have to try wedge it back a bit, bring it back so I can go through the gate again, because recently I've been having to go back to jumping the fence like I used to, but we're going to fix that now. I also want to start clearing up the bush, getting this place ready, because in a month's time it's my birthday. I want to get some people over. I want to set up like a little campsite along here. I think that'll be really fun. But I want to get this place nice and presentable first, so hopefully that's what we can achieve today. I'll be honest, the best tool I've got at my disposal here is this hammer, so I'm going to try and make do with that. Oh! I've knocked a snake out of the fence down that end. It's blending in pretty well. I'm just going to stay away from it, shouldn't be an issue. That was a surprise. Seems the entire fence itself is just off to an angle to the left, which is making it real hard to fix this star picket here. It's all leaning off that way, and that's something I don't specifically have the tools for right this second. So unfortunately I can't really do much about this. The whole fence is going to have to be redone basically, and that's just a whole nother story in itself. Wondering about the snake, it fell out over there. It was a little brown snake, so not good to get bit by, but it shouldn't bother me long as I stay out of its way. So we're just going to carry on with today's process. I'm going to have to chuck this stuff over the fence because I'm not going to be able to get the gate fixed today. Unfortunately, I just don't have the tools to redo the entire fence. That's not happening. So I'll just chuck these over, I'll jump over and just carry it all from there. The pagoda just, it fell down the hill into the water. It's fine, but that's funny. If you're wondering what all these are going to be for, I'll explain soon. For now, I just want to get everything to the tent and set up for today. Or should I say this afternoon, because it's after school at the moment for me, and I have no homework to do, so I'm doing something else to be productive. All I have to say about school is I'm glad I graduate this year. Thank goodness for that. Like seriously, if you watch this series from start to finish, you're practically watching me grow up. I am nothing like how I used to be at the start of this series. I have changed a lot in the coming to 2 years it's been. And see down there where the pagoda has currently ended up. As you can see, the water's gone down a bit, so it's quite easy to get across. But a lot of the sand down there has actually eroded away. When coming down, I still got to take this little path off to the side so I can get through, because there's still water blocking the path, as you can see. And as you can see all here, it's kind of eroded down. Same around the outer bits of the bridge here. And there's a lot of rock build up here as well, but it's all still flowing. For those wondering about the plant, don't worry, it's right here where it used to be. And for the bush plant, you know, the plant that started this whole series, still growing. Still growing here, a little bit wonky, but it's growing good. And so is the pond plant, which is on an angle after the floods, but the tree's leaning it, holding up, so I think it'll be fine. I'm going to do this video's tree check to see if it's still up, and well, yeah, it is still up. It's actually February now, so this is my last month to see if it'll fall. I just walked through a bush. So, will it fall? I don't know, it looks dangerously close to it, but I guess we'll just have to see. We'll see what happens. Here at the bridge you can see, you know, you've got these plants that have been all pushed over it. It makes it a little bit slippery to walk on. So I'm going to try clear that out today. I've got like a little thing on my shovel that should be able to deal with it. Just clear it out and make this place a lot easier to walk across so I don't risk slipping and falling in the creek. Gonna take the pagoda here now, and then I'll come back for the rest of that stuff. And I'll catch up with you guys once I've got everything all back at the tent and we can get to work on cleaning those shelves. Hi, I just want to clear things up. Let's not walk into that tree again. We'll just get very close up there, close and personal. While I'm walking back, pick up more stuff. Just want to say that whole issue with the fence being locked and whatever that I said a few episodes back in the first update on the floods. Well, I was suggesting it could be the neighbours because they've been wandering through here, trespassing, causing issues. Just an update, wasn't them. As I said before, the flood, I just pushed the star picket in the fence to the left, which I didn't realise at the time. That turned out to be the issue. It's what caused the chain to get pushed against the fence and make it unable to open. Know how to fix it, just going to take some work. But yeah, it wasn't the neighbours at all, so that's just my poor judgment. And apologies to that. One thing I've learnt is I need to think more before I start throwing things out there, because I usually just kind of chuck all these random ideas around, and chances are they're probably wrong, as they definitely were in this case and a lot of other cases in this series. Oil barrel flashbacks, never again. But yeah, it wasn't them, so I don't want to see any comments about that at all. You know, yeah, they've trespassed and stuff, but they've been staying out of my way this year, so I'm hoping the message has kind of got through with the signs and whatever. So I'm hoping that shouldn't be an issue anymore, and to be honest, I'm fine with that. I don't really want to talk about the whole neighbours issue further. I'd rather they do their thing, I do my thing. Just leave it here at that. This is hopefully the last time I have to update on this, so I'm hoping I can just leave it at that and let that stay in the past. If any of you guys want a Richard update, here he is. He's chilling. I got my cloth and my water here. Now before I do anything, obviously I've got to clean all of this stuff off here. Yeah, that's disgusting. Yeah, all this on top, on the shelves, it's all going to have to go out so I can thoroughly clean the entire thing top to bottom. Because, yeah, this amount of mould, not healthy. I've been wanting to do this for quite a while. This flood just gave me the perfect opportunity to finally go through with it. That's what I'm going to do. There's all this water that's built up under everything on here. That's it's not helping the mould situation at all. Anyways, I'm going to clean this off and we'll be right back. There is so much junk in here. I feel to do a thorough clean out. I'm gonna have to take at least one of the chairs out so I can properly get into everything. There's so much just junk in here. This place really does need proper clean out. If you compare this bookshelf to what it looked like when I first got it, which was pretty much a year ago from right now, it's not pretty. No, it's not. Look at all the mold here. Look, this is disgusting. It's actually feral. Look at all this. So gross. Look down here. Don't tell me that's healthy. And anyway, don't even get me started on the bin I've got down here. That thing has been needing a clean out for a while. There's just been junk building up down here at all, which is not healthy for the wildlife, which thankfully haven't gotten into anything. It's just not healthy for the bush at all. I've kind of let things go these past few months. I've just been very stressed with other things. Things have just kind of gone past my attention down here. I've let things slip. But today I want to get everything all back in order and hopefully fully clean this out. I really want to get that done, so I'm going to get straight into cleaning. This is what it looks like underneath the shelf. Look at that. Pretty sure the ants, not termites, but still, it's a pretty big infestation. Here's the shelf itself. That's not mold down there, it's just where paint's come off. Obviously, all these little marks here, they're water damages, or maybe mold underneath the paint. I'm not too sure, but I can't really do anything about that. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tip this over like that. I'm going to pour water in here just to get all little dirt bits off. The underneath has a whole bunch of the stuff on it as well. I'm not going to bother cleaning that too much because it's just going to go straight back on the floor. But I'll give it a rough scrub over just because it's been in the water and I don't want the wood to rot. Alright, I've got it done, it's been washed down. Now I'm just going to kind of leave it off in the sun for a bit to dry out for the rest of the afternoon. Then I'll put it back in at the end. And while that's drying out, I'm going to get on to some of the other projects I want to do today. Stuff on my little project list for today. This little garden area I did here back in episode 95. You can't really tell it's a garden area anymore because it's all just completely overgrown. And don't get me wrong. Ever since the start of this project, I've always had the idea that I want an overgrown aspect to the place, but it works in some spots, doesn't in others, and as for here, this is just an area that needs to be given a rough clear out, so see what I can do with this shovel here today and just give it a rough clear out so you can tell this is more of an area, a garden area I guess. And I'm not too sure what to do with this space, to be honest. I did have an idea that I was using it for, which is that whole portal idea, but episode 108 is probably going to be the last time I ever use that idea, as from now on, you know, this series is bush life. I want to keep it here in the bush. If I go somewhere to get some resources, I go there to get some resources. I don't really need to document it. Yeah, the few episodes I did do it, they were fun, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna... It was an experimental idea. I think it was okay. But, I don't know, it missed something about the series, if you get what I mean. It felt like they were more their own thing and weren't really part of the series, I guess. So, yeah, this isn't really the portal garden anymore. I don't really know what to turn it. I've got the recreation of the old tent here. But if you have any ideas of what this place could be turned into, now it does get pretty hot down here. These summers have been horrible. But if you've got any ideas for here, maybe if you are suggesting plants, I'd recommend cactus types, because nothing else is really going to grow. Well, yeah, feel free to suggest your ideas, and I'll see what I can make work. Alright, as you can see, this area is a little bit more cleared. The grass here is too thick, so I couldn't really deal with that, but you know what? It looks okay, I guess, with the grass and the little overgrown vibe coming up with the old tent area. Something's been having the munchies. But yeah, seriously, if you've got any ideas for this space, do make sure to comment below and I'll see what I can do. Next on the list is I want to try cut those plants at the bridge down so I can walk across easier. So let's get to it. Alright, I'm down here at the bridge. And without further ado, let's cut these plants back. I've got to be honest, this plant behind me here has been annoying me for a long time, so it's got to go. It's going now, I hope. Hopefully I can get it out. Look at the roots on that thing. Doing this after everything's wet from the floods was probably one of the best decisions I've made in this series, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, things are looking a lot clearer here now. The path itself has been cut back a lot, and this whole area here is just... it's a lot more open now. That is a massive improvement. Right, I'm very hot and sweaty after all that. So before I put all the stuff in the tent away and that away and just start packing up a few smaller things for today, I'm gonna go on a little walk now down the creek just to cool off and see if I can find any of my stuff or anything interesting that's new after being washed up from the floods, and go on a little trip down memory lane, I guess, as this is where the old tent used to be. The path is very overgrown. This is where I used to walk through. There's that paint lid. How did that get there? I'll pick that up on the way back. Here it is. This is the old tent area as of now. It's very overgrown, it's getting. A lot of ferns coming up at the back behind there. That's where the back wall of the tent used to be. You can see this is the tree it was strung up on. Got all vines growing up it. There's the old seat, which is, it's got all vines growing up that now too. There's even some tape left over. That's where the bush plant used to be. Here's the tree that Arrow has graffitied with all sorts of 199s. A bit of an inside joke there. Here's the path I used to walk down all the time to go down here, and wow, I haven't walked this thing in, what, 6 months now? Look how overgrown it's become. And there's that hole I used to get stuff out of. Look at that. There's an aircon that's washed up on the log I used to jump over. Wow, it's very different after the floods. And back there was that weird bunker thing. Here it is. In all its glory, or non-glory. You know, I do kind of miss coming up, walking down up to this tree, and then walking around to seeing the tent right there. That is a time I do miss, and I've been trying to just move on with things and kind of forget this area, but to be honest, it's a part of the tent's history. It's not a place you can forget, unfortunately. I really do miss this spot. There's just something about it. It's where I first started in episode 1. And as much as I feel like what I've got going over there is great, it's never going to truly just feel the same as to what it did in this spot here. But, you know, it's been nice to just come back, see how things are. There's even an old coat hanger still on the tree. This place has seen better days. But there's one thing that I'm happy to leave behind. It's when that oil barrel used to be there, which was arguably one of the worst decisions of this series. Oh, it's that pink log I brought back when last time me and Arrow were together. We went exploring. I completely forgot I left that here. Or did it get washed up by the floods? I don't know. Actually, now I come to think of it, this was all the way over at the tent over there, but I haven't seen any evidence of the floodwaters actually coming down here, because you can tell where they are because the way it's pushed everything. So I'm a little bit confused as to how this got here. Weird. You know what I find even weirder is it's like the floodwater has gone down the path I used to get to where the old tent area was and just washed up here somehow. It's weird. Don't know how that's happened, or if that's even the true story. Hang on, it's like it's washed up here. Like it's come to here. And it's washed right through where the old tent would have been. So apparently the old tent was built in a spot where the water just kind of converged. And look, we've got my thong. Wasn't that a glorious find? Okay, I didn't even know the water washed up here. This is a new discovery. One of these things, which I use to put my plants in. What else we got? Oh, one of my rocks that I had around this pine tree I had. I have to come back for this on my way back. What else we got in here? Hopefully no snakes. That would be pretty cool. There's more stuff over there. We're following the trail of the flood now, seeing what I can find. And you know, it'd be great if I could find my watering can after all this time. Right, it looks like it's all washed up here, a whole bunch of other stuff. Mind you, the creek's all the way back that way, and it's somehow made its way here. Water is a mysterious thing. I wish I was here to see that, and unfortunately I was away. What is this? Is that a seed packet? I believe so. Oh, it's unopened too, and the seeds are still in it. Trying to remember, I think that might be parsley seeds. I think I had a bunch of seed packets before the flood came through that I was planning to grow coming into the new year. But yeah, the seed packets were swept away. So I guess we just plant it and see what comes out. And hopefully it isn't something else that is illegal to grow. Because, yeah, people chuck weird stuff into the bush. And oh look, it's the original ice cream bucket from the early days of the series that I just found down here. I think, did I find it down here or did I bring it down? I can't remember. I used to have it at the old tent collecting water. You know what? You can live his life out there. I should probably pick that up. I should probably be a good role model. Can't really looking for any signs of my watering can. I'm seeing some clouds in there from when King Toast and beautiful partner and me had that, when we ripped up the pillows and had a little fight with those. See it right in there. No signs of my watering can. But I feel now that I found this new site where stuff is washed up, there's a chance. I'm feeling hopeful. I'm just I'm walking around trying to see if I can find any more areas where stuff is all piled up, where water could have been. Surely there's a chance I find it. I heard a tree fall down a while back, I think I said in a previous video. I wonder if it was this one, because I don't remember seeing it here before. Fortunately, after discovering this whole new area where the floodwater came through, I'm still yet to find where my watering can went, unfortunately. So, that's a bummer. Maybe if I press on, I can find something. You know, one thing that really I wonder sometimes is how I've never got a tick from walking down here, because seriously, look at what I walk through, and look at what I'm wearing. I've never in my life gotten a tick, and I do this stuff pretty much every day, or at least once a week, so I'm surprised I've never gotten a tick. But hey, I'm not complaining. No signs of a watering can around here. But do you know what there is a sight of? Which is very unfortunate. And no, it's not these beautiful flowers, which symbolises coming into autumn, which is in a month. My favourite season. But no, I'm not talking about those flowers. I'm talking about something far, far worse. The worst decision I've ever probably made in my life. This old thing. This stupid oil barrel that I for some reason thought would make a great idea for a table. What a disgusting style. Let's give it a big boo. Let's say the oil drum is crap in the comments, or just something bad about the oil drum. Let's say that. Stupid oil drum. Ooh, jeez, that is a duck that just flew out of that bush. That gave me an actual heart attack. What is that duck doing in the bush? Why was that duck in the bush? I thought that was a snake coming out, chomped my face off. Anyways, now that we've reflected on our past mistakes, holy, I see why the duck was in the bush. Look, it's got a nest. I'll leave his nest alone. Don't worry, buddy. I won't harm your ducks. I will say though, that's a new one. I've never seen duck eggs before, and that was the last thing I expected to stumble upon today. I'm just walking back the other way. I don't want to disturb that duck any more than I have already. Didn't mean to do that, but in all fairness, it startled me quite a lot. Oh, look at that. We found another clue about where the floods went. That's the old paint thing I had. I didn't even notice it was missing, but there it is. I'm going to have to come back and clean all this. I'll probably come through off camera with my bin once I've cleared it out and just do a bit of a clear through here and see what I can find. But because that's there, the other stuff is over there, it means the floodwater came down further this way, although it seems like less of it came through, but it was enough force to push all of this through. So perhaps down that way, there's hope of finding the watering can. Some stuff here that looks like it could have been washed up. Oh, there's the duck. Sorry, buddy, I'm not even meaning to startle you. I just want my watering can, okay? You gotta understand, you can't just take a man's watering can. Except you didn't take it. The floods did. Here's the trail's gone cold again. Will I ever find this thing? Coming up on another old spot here where I attempted to make a weird bush shack and have vines grow over the roof. You might remember that absolutely failed episode. Oh, here it is. I guess I technically succeeded in having vines grow over it. It is absolutely covered in vines. Right, I've gone on quite the journey through memory lane today in search of this watering can, but it seems I'm not having any luck. I'm going to press on a little bit more this way to the first sighting of the shadow people, where that was, if you remember that whole thing. And to be honest, I never really came to a conclusion with that whole paranormal thing down here. I don't know if I ever will, but if you guys want to have me revisit it for one more episode or two, do let me know. I'll get beautiful partner down, maybe. We'll see See what happens with that, but I have a feeling we're probably not going to get anything. Hold on, the trail's back. Now you can see here, the grass is a bit darker because it's got mud on it. That means water came through. Now the water's definitely come through here. So let's see if I can find any trace of the watering can. We'll do a little story time right now, and this is actually what inspired this series. Right, so you see this thing here? This whole little thing, this little enclosed space. Basically, me, Arrow's brother and beautiful partner, a few years back, I think it's 2 now, we basically went on a walk down here at sundown. This is when the whole first paranormal sighting people happened. But as we were walking through here, because at this point in time we'd never explored this far into the bush, now it's just like normal for me. But we walk through here, we get to this spot, and Arrow says to me, this will be a cool spot for a little bush hideout. Oh, just dropped my phone. And anyways, I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe. Obviously, I didn't end up doing it here because not on my property. And where I built it anyway wasn't on my property, but basically, that inspired me to build a little bush hut in the bush in the first place, and inspired this series. So you can thank Arrow for that, and the bush plant. Because that also, I wanted to move that to a safe place for it to grow, because for some reason I had this a weird attachment to the plant. So that also encouraged me to further start the series. So here we are. And this series was actually supposed to be an add-on to the paranormal series I originally did. And I was supposed to build like a little shelter to like study paranormal beings, but nothing really interesting happened and it just didn't work out. So I ultimately decided I'd make it its own separate thing. But at the time of episode 2's release, I'd actually tacked on this series as extra of the paranormal series. It wasn't until episode 3 where I decided this was actually going to be its own thing. But I'm glad it became its own thing. I much prefer that. And because of that, it's made me able to make these videos a lot more and just do more of the series. The series was actually supposed to be only 30 episodes long, but my visions just grew, and the rest is history that you can watch. I recommend that. Anyways, I've rambled on enough. We've come down here. Some weird stuff that's washed up. But unfortunately, I was kind of expecting it. No watering can. I don't even know what that is. It's something. Alright, I'm starting to walk back now. There's one last stop I want to make. And that's that old abandoned bridge. I just kind of want to see what it looks like after all the floods, and it's been a fair few months since I was there. So I want to see what's remaining of that. And also, I feel like this is going to be a bit of a longer video, and YouTube doesn't really, the algorithm, it doesn't really like when I make longer videos. For some reason, it doesn't recommend them to people. And if it doesn't recommend them to people, I can't get people to watch the series. So, yeah, you could help commenting, liking, sharing it with your friends who may be into this. It all helps. It really does, and I'd appreciate it a lot. Just got a stick wedged up my butt, so all I have to say is thank goodness for pants. And also, there's some guy who commented about me doing these videos shirtless and in Speedos. What? Where do you even get that idea from? That's funny. I don't even know where you get that idea from. That's probably one of the most random comments I have ever had. Like, where do you even get that as an idea? It's so weird. Now, I'll be honest, me and my friends used to sneak along the edges of the creek on the other side there, on my neighbour's property, because we weren't aware at the time. We were stupid. Young and stupid. Arguably still stupid, and I guess young. But, yeah, we used to just wander around there. The neighbours at the time didn't care, plus there was all of that you couldn't see through because of all the bush, but since then, the neighbours have cleared it, so it's made going down to see this thing pretty much impossible, but it doesn't look like they're out at the moment, and I want to see it, so I'm willing to risk it. Never mind, they're out. But oh well. Looks the same. Hey, that's my chain over there. they do be pointing at me. They're like, oh, who's that guy down there? And you know, I mean, fair enough, I guess they have the right. It's also kind of weird that I'm holding a camera. I mean, yes, I guess they have the right to be annoyed. Can't blame with that. There's a spider on me. That's nice. Yeah, can't blame with that. But I mean no harm. Not that they know that, but I don't mean harm. I just wanted to... This is a weird angle. I just wanted to check out the bridge. I don't even know... A part of my chain's there. I don't even know how. I don't even know what part of my chain system that is, but... Okay. Alright, well now that I feel like a criminal, I want to go check out the martial arts pit and see what's popping on over there after all those floods. It's very overgrown now. I don't really use this place anymore. I'm going to finish up karate this year as well once my external exams begin, so yeah, I haven't really done much here. There's still evidence of when Arrow tried to start that fire here, which arguably would have ended in a bushfire, so thank God that didn't go fully. And this sign, still completely eaten by termites. Can't even remember if I updated on that, but yeah, the entire inside's been just completely hollowed out. Yeah, look at that. Gone. Yeah, something's crushed this rock or broken it away too. Well, I guess the mystery of the watering can is going to remain a mystery for now. I don't know what's going on with that. But I'm going to clean up here now. And it's getting late now, the sun's starting to go down. I'm hungry for dinner. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with the progress I've made today. So I'm going to go clean all this up and get everything back in its rightful place. And I'll explain that stuff and we'll have that little talk I've been talking about. Things are nice and clean down here now. Everything is back where it should be. Still got that drying out there. Kind of like that little thing as a clothesline. Although I'm debating whether I should move it up or not, but I kind of like it as a little fence there. Then again, I do kind of miss having the path through there. That's just going to have to be a shower thought for me later about what I do with that little fenced off area. You know, if you're the kids over at the neighbours going, I saw a man down there, obviously referring to me in the bush. To be fair, you guys kind of did trespass here first, and then proceeded to after multiple warnings. But anyway, I guess I can just add that decision to the many other bad decisions I made down here. I just want to check out the bridge. And unfortunately, that is illegal now. Or, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm ranting on. I did say I'd talk about these, and the pots. Anyways, this, I want to use as like a bench for like some dining area that I want to do over there. I've talked about this previously. I'll go through the things I'm about to say in more thorough detail in my lean-to thing, tent, I don't know, video, episode 111. So if you want more in thorough detail, you just go to that episode. It's still standing, by the way. I really don't know how. And for these pots in here, these are going to be used in my greenhouse, which is going to be my next project focus after this. So, I did say I'm trying to secure a gazebo for it, and I've secured the gazebo, I just need to get it down here, so progress is working forward slowly. I'm slowly just gathering all the resources I need to build it up in, hopefully, a very soon episode. I would like to have it up before I get everyone down for that birthday campout video. But I feel like I made good progress today towards cleaning things up and just getting this place ready for that. I'm not too sure what the next episode will be. I've got a few ideas of things I could do. But the next big project will definitely be the greenhouse project kind of thing. aka it's going to be a gazebo, a few tarps taped to the side. And just to help things grow down here because it gets very hot. And also in the winter the frost kills everything, so not ideal. Hopefully I can sort things out. But that's basically what those things are for, and I'll get more to that in later videos, so stay tuned. Now I did say at the end of the video we'd have an unedited me-camera conversation. That's now. I figured I'd save this for the end of the video just because chances are people aren't gonna watch the video if I do this at the start or some random point in the middle. So if I do this at the end, at least if people do enjoy it and watch through, they can get to this point, decide the decisions on me if they want to hear me what I have to say here. And this is regarding the future of this series as a whole. Now, I've discussed this before. This was never meant to be a permanent series, and as I said earlier, it was originally meant to be like 30 episodes at most. But my ideas kind of grew over time, and then when the tent moved here, my ideas grew more. I'll be honest, it's probably for the best the tent did get moved here, because the series probably would be over by now, if I'm being honest, because I was running out of ideas, and I was just at a point where I was like, there's no point stretching it out, maybe I should end it. But then things happened, I had a chance to rebuild, start a whole new thing, and a whole new range of ideas just popped into my head, and I started having this whole goal planned, so that's where we're at now. And I'm hoping I can finish this little goal I have of what I want to build down here this year, before 2024, before I graduate at the end of the year. I'd love to have it done. And that'll kind of mark everything I've done down here as finished. You know, that's the end goal. That's what I'm working towards. I've got, I think it's 3 big projects remaining, and I'm done. That's it. It's done. There really isn't much left to do. It's done. So the series, you'd think, is getting pretty close to finishing, right? Now, no, but it will. This series as a whole will definitely slow down once I finish my goals. Because I see, one thing I'm obsessed with is seeing how the nature interacts with what I put down here over time and watching it grow over it. And if I would end the series there, you know, great, I completed everything, but none. Well, I mean, I'd still get to see what happens, but I can't share what happens to this place another year into the future, or maybe 2. I don't know. But I'd love to kind of just give maybe monthly, just kind of check-ins as to this is what's going on, this is what I'm doing to maintain the place, just doing like little check-ins, maybe the occasional small little idea I just get and want to put down here. And I'll probably do that for a year, and, you know, see how things go with that. But then after that year, I'll be honest, you know, there's no point really continuing the series for the sake of it, you know? Like, I've done my little check-in, we've seen how it's changed over a year, this is what's happened. Arguably, we could go longer, see how it changes over a longer time period, but there's only so much I can really do with the concept of that, and I don't want to stretch it out needlessly. So if it does come down to it, if I feel the time has come, it'd be like the end of 2025, I will start building up towards the finale, and we'll say our goodbyes. But that's still at least 2 years away. I just want to say, the end goal at the moment is to finish what I'm doing down here, and then my plans after that are to just kind of do monthly check-ins. I might get an idea every now and then of what I could just add to the place and document that. And then after that, it'll probably be saying our farewells. But that's just so you guys know what's coming up with the series, if you do want to stick around. And trust me, there's a heap of other videos you can go check out. Some of the early ones, they're not the best. I'll be honest, there's a few ones that are just kind of filler, rubbish. I'd honestly, if I had the choice to refilm those with a much better concept, I would, in a heartbeat, but it doesn't work like that. But I guess that's still part of this series' history. Episode 43, I really don't understand why I did that episode. Maybe someone will find it interesting, but to me I feel like it's just a really dumb idea. Nothing was achieved in it, I just kind of wandered around and looked at random junk, so... Anyways, yeah, I'd still recommend going and watching through the whole series. You can watch me grow as a person myself. As I said, I'm trying to still change things about myself. This whole thing I've never talked to the neighbours themselves. I've heard they're, you know, decent people if you get to know them, who make questionable decisions, as I have made questionable decisions. We all do it. I heard they're good people if you do get to talk to them. I'm not a very social person, though. At all. I really don't like big crowds. If you couldn't tell by the bush setting. I get very nervous filming around people, just talking in general. But, yeah, I don't really want a thing to start up between me, the neighbours. I just want to do my thing. I don't want to cause trouble. I don't want them to cause trouble. I just want peace. Just peace. Nothing more, nothing less. That's what I want. And to be honest, after this video, I want to never have to bring up the neighbours again. I don't want to talk about it. I really don't. I don't want to joke about it. I don't want to bring it up. I don't want to have to worry about it. Just want to put it at the back of my mind. Forget about it. The whole fence idea between separating the properties. I'm not going to do that unless something happens where I have to. But I'd rather just leave that whole thing there. And just focus on my goals and where I'm going for this place. I've got big plans that I want to carry through. But anyways, I think I've rambled on enough. 8 minutes that just went on for. Wow. Well, I'll just end this one here. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.